Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Catholic Spotlight, and joining me today is Jim Howells, who is the music director at St. Michael Catholic Community in Calgary. Thanks, Jim, for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
Let me ask you, Jim, how long have you been doing the music ministry at St. Michael's?
I joined the music ministry here in St. Michael's in June of 2013. And uh, it was a wonderful opportunity, I must say. Yeah.
What were you doing
I,
before that?
Before that, I was a music director at Sacred Heart Church in Calgary. And I had been there for a long time because that was the my home parish. That was where I grew up and started to play the organ there when I was a teenager. And
Well,
so anyway, and then I continued on until one day my predecessor at St. Michael's, who was a fellow named Tony Klazak, he was retiring and he asked me if I was interested in applying for the job. And it took me about a year to really think about it because I was sort of joined at the hip at Sacred Heart. But anyway, I decided to apply for the job and I got the job and it was the best thing that I could have done in retrospect.
well, I'm curious, and having been a former parishioner at Sacred Heart, and that's where we first met 30 years ago.
Yes.
I, what I'm curious about, Jim, is the transition for you in music. Now, obviously, Sacred Heart is a more traditional kind of old fashioned. I don't say that in a bad way, but an old fashioned church. And then you come to St. Michael, completely different and new, new both in style and architecture, but also new in music. How was that transition for you?
Well, absolutely. It was a big change. And as you say, I'd been involved in a more traditional style. I had been playing pipe organ. Um, then when I came to St. Michael's, it's more of a worship style, I guess you would call it. It's not like the traditional choir with, gowns, choir robes and stuff. It's more like a band. And I had played in a lot of rock bands. So uh, the guitar, drums, bass thing was not unfamiliar. Uh, so that's basically what it is. I have some instrumentalists, and then we've got about maybe up to seven singers, but it's all more contemporary, more worship style. And I must admit, uh, a large majority of the music that we were playing here at St. Mike's was unfamiliar to me, and the composers and stuff like that. It's all very new. So yeah, it was there was an adjustment period.
Tell me, in terms of what you're trying to achieve during Mass through music. What's your goal?
Well, the main goal is to get the congregation involved, and that's what it's all about. I mean, yeah, as a musician, you always have to be wary of the fact that you're not putting on a show in a church, you know. It's not like being in a rock band. You're there to lead the congregation in musical worship, basically, and that's the main goal. So we want to inspire people, of course. We want to have them join us. We want them to feel that they are a part of the music making here at St. Mike's.
So, how do you go about choosing the different songs each week?
Well, what happens is I was gifted with a large database of music, which was great. And so what I do is that, of course, I go through the readings for whichever mass it is, and I look at the readings, I look at the psalm, um, I consider the key words in each reading. Then what I can do is I take those keywords and I feed them into the database, and the database will give me a whole list of songs that have something like, let's say the word is judgment or forgiveness or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'll feed that into the database and it'll give me all these choices.
Oh,
So that's how I do it, basically. And it's a great way. It's quick because I have a lot of music to go through and a lot of music to consider. So it makes it more A to B for
yeah.
sure.
So, can you talk just a little bit about the importance of having music during Mass? Now, uh, I can't remember which saint it is, but there was one saint that talked about how singing, you're singing, you're praying twice, right? And
That's Saint Augustine.
Saint Augustine, there you go. Yeah. You believe that?
What's that?
You
Do
believe
I
that?
do I believe it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, well, it is for me, that's for sure. I mean, I couldn't be happier doing what I do. And there's nothing better than I will be playing a song, and as we're playing it, I realize that it's, well, to use a musical term, we're really in the groove, and I'll get this little chill just going down, and it's wonderful for me. I believe that I'm it's more than lip service, that's for sure. It's getting involved totally. So.
Last chance for a pitch here for you, Jim. Give give me your best pitch to people out there to join the music ministry at St. Michael's. Why they should do that.
Well, I've had lots of people join over the years, and they find it just it's a heightened involvement in the church. It's not something, I mean, you're in front of the congregation, so you're definitely a part. And for people who want to really feel that involvement, there's nothing better than getting involved in the music ministry.
Hmm.
So I would say that to people, if you're really interested in being involved in the church and you do have, some sort of musical ability, you don't have to be able to read music. I have people who don't read music, but it's a great way to be involved and to really get a feeling of belonging.
Hmm.
So
What's the commitment?
the commitment is it's fairly involved for one weekend, but my teams, I have four teams, and one of them is a youth team, but they all have to get together with everybody at 3:30 usually on Saturdays. We practice for an hour and a half. Then they are committed to doing 5 o'clock mass on Saturday and 9 and 11 mass on Sunday. But then they're done for the next rotation, which is 4 weeks later. So
Interesting. All right. Well,
yeah.
wonderful. I appreciate you taking the time, Jim, to talk about the music ministry at St. Michael's.
Well, it's my pleasure to talk to you, Mario, and it's always great to see you. Come by here. So please join us again.
Yeah, you're well. Thanks so much. All right, that was Jim Howells, who is music director at St. Michael Catholic Community in Calgary. I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Catholic Spotlight. Thanks for joining us today.